Hello children, welcome back. In today's module, I will be covering a topic which is common to both class 9th and class 10th. The topic goes transportation in plants, conducting tissues and complex permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues is a part of the chapter tissues in class 9th, whereas transportation in plants is a part of the chapter life processes in class 10th. I have tried to compile the contents in a single video so that it is beneficial for students of both class 9 as well as class 10. Children in class 9, you have already done simple permanent tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, where single kind of cells perform a similar function. But in this module, you will study how complex permanent tissues help in performing a different function. Complex permanent tissues are characterized by possessing different kinds of cells which together perform a similar function. So, let us move ahead and understand how these tissues help in the process of transportation. Complex permanent tissues are basically of two types in plants: xylem, which is the water conducting tissue, and phloem, which is the food conducting tissue. Since plants lack an organ system for transportation, they possess specialized tissues which help in transportation of water and food. So one by one, we will learn the functions of these conducting tissues and how it takes place with the help of these tissues. For this, first we will begin with xylem. Let us see the diagram of the cells that form the xylem tissue. You can see very clearly that there are four kinds of xylem elements, four kinds of cells together forming the xylem tissue and helping in conduction of water. Out of these four cells, children, there are two main conducting elements which help in transport of water. They are tracheids and xylem vessels. Children, tracheids, if you see the structure, they are spindle shaped. They have thick lignified cell walls and they have got pits or holes for transportation of water. Xylem vessels, on the other hand, they are cylindrical in shape. They also have thick lignified cell walls. They may either have pits or they have an empty lumen just like a straw that water will move inside the lumen of the xylem vessels. Tracheids is also a dead cell. Xylem vessels are also dead in nature. The other two kinds of cells forming xylem are xylem parenchyma, which are involved in storage of food, and xylem fibers, they are sclerenchyma fibers which just impart mechanical and structural strength. You can say out of the four, the main conducting elements conducting water are tracheids and xylem vessels. Let us see how through these cells water will be conducted in the plant body. Now, have a look at this diagram. This shows the movement of water in the plant body with the help of this tissue. Children, all of you know that whenever there is a concentration gradient developed, high water potential and low water potential, water always moves from a region of higher water concentration to lower water concentration by the phenomena of endosmosis, right? Or you can say osmosis. Now what happens is, whenever the water outside the plant is more and inside there is lack of water, then a concentration difference is developed. These are the roots of the plants and this is the tissues of the plants, and these structures that you can see I have drawn forming a continuous channel are the xylem vessels which are placed in the plant body just like a continuous channel in the plant. So what will happen when water will enter inside due to concentration difference. There is more water outside, less inside. So water automatically moves by endosmosis and enters the xylem of the roots. Okay, that is, let us say these are the xylem vessels and adjacent to them they are the tracheids. I cannot draw all of them together, so I am just explaining, taking one element into consideration. Now what will happen? Water will move inside. Okay, but this water has to travel in the upward direction in order to reach all the parts of the plant. And this is not possible because water moves in the direction opposite to the force of gravity. It is going to move in this direction. So for movement in this direction, which is opposite to the force of gravity, you need a suction pull that will pull the water in the upward direction. How will this pull be developed? What is the phenomenon responsible for it? Let us see. Children, all of you know that the aerial parts of the plants, the green stems and the leaves, they have got tiny pores which are called stomata. It is through these pores only that the plants exchange their gases as well as water is lost from the plant body in the form of water vapor, utilizing the heat of the sun during the daytime. This phenomenon is called transpiration. Right? So what is happening, children? During the daytime, the water from the plant is evaporating through the stomata by the process of transpiration. As a result, the water concentration in the aerial parts is becoming less. Yes or no? Due to transpiration. And here the water is more in the soil. So don't you think a gradient has been developed? Higher water and lower water concentration. So water will automatically move from a region of higher water concentration to lower water concentration, and this is actually posing a suction pull which is pulling the water in the upward direction through the xylem elements. This upward movement of water through the xylem elements by the suction pull of transpiration is called ascent of sap. Ascent means moving from lower to upward direction. Sap means the fluid containing water and minerals. So this process is called ascent of sap, and this is how water is transported with the help of xylem tissue in plants. Now coming to the second kind of conduction, that is conduction of food. And conduction of food is done by the complex permanent tissue called phloem. Okay, just like xylem, even phloem is a complex permanent tissue. So it is also made up of 4 kinds of cells. Let us see which are these 4 kinds of cells. The first one, you can see the cylindrical tube-like structures. This is one cell. It is called a sieve tube. And you can see at the end of the cell, there is a sieve plate having pores or sieves. Okay, so the food is conducted through these kinds of cells which are called sieve tubes. Okay, this is one single cell and there are several cells lined one above the other in the entire plant body for conduction of food. The second type of cell forming this complex tissue is the companion cell, which is just adjacent to the sieve tube or the main conducting element of phloem. You can see that vertical conduction of food takes place through the sieve tubes. The lateral conduction of food takes place through the companion cell which is lying adjacent to the sieve tubes. The third kind of cell forming the phloem tissue is the phloem parenchyma. You can see these cells which are lying near the sieve tubes. These are the third kind of cells, phloem parenchyma, And the fourth kind of cell forming the phloem tissue is the phloem fibers. Phloem fibers are dead in nature, imparting strength. Phloem parenchyma is also storing food. So you can say the main conducting element used for transport of food is the sieve tube and the companion cell. This leads to vertical conduction and this leads to lateral conduction of food. Here you have to understand one thing, children, that water was moving only in one direction through the xylem tissue, that is downward to upward. But in case of food transport can take place in both directions, lateral directions also and vertical directions also, from the leaves to different parts of the plant where there is a sink. A sink is developed in the plant body when there is lack of food. If some areas of the plant, growing areas of the plant, storage areas of the plant, whenever food is lacking there or there is some lack of food, then a sink is developed. So whenever there are regions of sink developed, the food moves from those regions where there is more concentration of food to less concentration. Okay, and this process of movement of food from the leaves to different parts of the plant where a sink is developed is called translocation of food. Since the food is prepared in the leaves on the topmost areas, it is not requiring any pull for transportation. Here, for transportation of food, generally the energy of ATP is enough for transportation of food. So children, these are the four elements forming the phloem tissue, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Okay, so one more thing extra I would like to tell you here, that food is generally transported in the plant body in the form of a sugar which is called sucrose. So for grade 9 and 10, this much understanding is more than enough. Okay, you have to understand that food is translocated with the help of the main conducting elements, sieve tubes and companion cells. Also children, you must remember that xylem and phloem are complex permanent tissues and are conducting tissues. Unlike xylem, if you see the phloem tissue, there is only one dead element and the remaining three cells are living. Whereas in xylem, three elements were dead and only one was living. So keeping this in mind, children, let us go for a short recap of whatever we have learned today so that you get a better understanding. Xylem is made up of four elements: xylem vessels, tracheids, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. It is conducting water and minerals in the upward direction, which is called ascent of sap. It needs the suction pull of transpiration, and the main conducting elements are vessels and tracheids. The phloem comprises of four elements: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. It conducts food from leaves in both the directions. The main conducting elements are sieve tubes and companion cells, and the food is translocated with the energy of ATP. Right? So this much we have learned whatever I taught you before. Okay? So two important terminologies related to complex permanent tissues or transportation is ascent of sap. What is ascent of sap? The upward movement of water from the roots to different parts of the plant through the suction pull of transpiration by the conducting elements of xylem is called ascent of sap. Translocation of food by phloem, it refers to the movement of food from the leaves to different parts of the plant where there is a sink. utilizing the energy of ATP by the main conducting elements of phloem in the form of a sugar, sucrose, in the solution is called translocation of food. So this finishes your topic transportation in plants, and let us have a short quiz time to recap. Okay, why are xylem and phloem called conducting tissues? Obviously because they conduct water and food within the plant. Which is the living element of xylem? I told you there are 3 dead and 1 living. So what is the answer? The answer to this question is xylem parenchyma is the living element of xylem. Which is the dead element of phloem? The dead element of phloem, where 3 are living and 1 is dead, is phloem fibers. What is the upward movement of water and minerals called in the plant body? It is called ascent of sap. And the last one, what is the movement of food from leaves to the area of sink in plant called? It is called translocation of food. So for today, children, this much is enough. I hope the contents and the concepts are clear. I will come up with my next video very soon. Till then, thank you and have a very nice day.